Hey you guys, welcome to another YouTube reformer workout. Okay, today's workout is a little bit shorter than my typical 60 to 90 minutes because I know we don't always have time for that, right? So today's gonna be shorter and more condensed. However, you are gonna still get the full body. So if you need it all in one shot, this is the workout for you, okay? I'm calling this one full body block because we're gonna be using the yoga block as our prop the entire time. So have the yoga block out on your carriage ready for you. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a playground ball or a Pilates ball, possibly if it's smaller. Okay, most of the time it's gonna be between the inner thighs, okay? You are gonna need your reformer box today. This is gonna provide a little bit more stability than if we were standing on the carriage. So we will be standing on the box just briefly, but it'll give you a nice level of support. Your reformer box is gonna be on the left side of your machine today. I have my box lined up, top of the box, top of the headrest, okay? Now, it's on your left if you're looking from front to back, on the left side. Top of the box, top of the headrest, okay? Line that up. That's just gonna give you nice range of motion when we get to that sequence, and you're already set up, ready to go, so it's gonna save time, okay? Your long and short loops, you're gonna need them both today, so have those hung up and ready to go. Your headrest can be down or up. I have mine down. If your headrest up gives you better alignment through the spine when you're on your back, then have it up. Okay, whatever you feel like works best for you. And I'll speak more to that at the end of this video if you want a little tutorial on the headrest and its alignment and its purposes that way. So I'll give you a little talk about that if you want to hang on after class. The foot bar is down and out of the way. We're not going to use it at all today. You do need your squishy pad for your platform. Now, this is optional. It's gonna give you some nice comfort for the hands in our last and final sequence of class today. We're gonna be planking, but our hands are gonna be on the platform. So we'll be there for a little over a minute. So if you want that extra piece of comfort, have that squishy pad underneath your platform and ready for you. I have one extra light spring on, and we're gonna be on that extra light spring for almost all of class. We are gonna be adding on a blue one time, okay? Now, if you don't have an extra light spring, which is a yellow on a balanced body reformer, okay? If you don't have one, you can use your blue spring. However, I'm gonna talk about the strap you use, whether it be long or short, and I'm also gonna speak to your position on the carriage, depending on what we're doing. You may want to be closer to the shoulder blocks or closer to the platform to create less resistance, okay? So if you work out with me regularly, I'm going to really highly suggest that you purchase an extra light spring for your reformer. It is a very wise investment, okay? I use it pretty much every class. All right, you guys, so that's your setup. Let's get going, right? We don't waste any more time. Okay, we're going to start with a little core activation sequence. So go ahead and grab your yoga block. I'm gonna come onto my carriage rear facing, and I'm gonna be in a 4-point kneel. So my knees are gonna be at the edge of the carriage, yoga block right between my inner thighs, okay? Now that's gonna create a nice distance so that my knees are underneath my hips. Hands are gonna come down on the carriage, okay, and your toes are turned under on your platform. If you'd like your squishy pad right now, go ahead and grab it. I don't particularly like it when my feet are there, but if you do, go ahead and get it. Okay, I'm gonna set you up real nice. I want you to take those hands, wrists directly underneath your shoulders. You're gonna spread out all 10 fingers nice and wide. I want you to imagine the center of your palm like a little suction cup. Okay, think Spider-Man. Okay, little suction cup right there. You're gonna keep your elbows soft, okay, and you're gonna broaden that collarbone nice and wide. I want you to think about space between your shoulder blades. We're gonna exhale to prepare, and on your inhale, you're gonna hover your knees 1 inch off the carriage and just hold them there. Okay, now this is core activation, so I really want you to fire up all sides of the core. We're gonna think about pulling the carriage into the bumper so that it's nice and tight. You're gonna feel your right and left waistline really light up. You might even start to shake, right? If that's good, that's all that connective tissue starting to fire. I have a light hold on my yoga block. You're here for 4, for 3, last 2. Set your knees down nice and soft. Okay, we're gonna do that again. On your inhale, exhale to prepare. On your inhale, you're gonna hover those knees 1 inch off the carriage, hold, pull the carriage into the bumper, broaden your collarbone. Think about breathing into the back of your ribs. Good, hold it here. You've got a nice long line from the crown of your head right out to your tailbone. You're here for 6, 5, 4. Don't lock out those elbows. You're here for 3. We want active joints. 2. On your next inhale, take that carriage all the way out to a full plank and hold it. Okay, we're in your plank now. No more 4-point kneel. Okay, now from here, we're going to do a little walk with our upper body. Okay, so we're going to take the right forearm. We're going to bring it down to the carriage. Left forearm's going to follow. Now we're going to step up. Right hand, left hand's going to follow. Okay, left arm starts. Left forearm down. Right arm follows. Left hand steps up. Right arm follows. Now, alternate. Right arm first. You want to think about minimizing the wiggle in your hips. Okay, keeping that nice solid plank. Left arm first. Right arm. Left arm steps up. So does the right. Here we go. Right arm. Left arm. Right arm. Left arm. Last one. Left arm. Right arm. Left hand, right hand, hold your high plank. Okay, now from here, we're going to do a little piking. But what I want you to do first so we can get some really deep range of motion is I want you to walk your hands back towards the edge of your carriage. Okay, so I'm about 4 inches away from the edge of my carriage. On my exhale, we're going to think about lifting and reaching the sitting bones all the way up towards the top corner of the wall. Bring your carriage in as far as you can. Bow between your biceps. And then inhale as you lengthen back out. Okay, no dipping of the hips. Keep a nice strong structure in that plank. Reach those sitting bones. That low belly lifts you. Inner thighs guide you up. And then you're going to inhale all the way back to your plank. 4 more. Okay, reach those sitting bones up and back. Feel them broaden. Bow between those biceps. Get some nice lift there. And then inhale all the way out. You've got your last 3 right here. Exhale. Reach it up and back. Good. Inhale all the way out. Last 2. Sitting bones reach. Up and back, up and back. Good. Get that carriage as close to the bumper as you can. Inhale all the way out. Good. Last 1. Reaching those sitting bones up and back. Hold your pike. Lengthen all the way out on your inhale and just hold your plank for me for 8. 7. Press the carriage away. Broaden between those shoulder blades. 3, 2, and pull your knees all the way in and down. Whew. Nice job, you guys. Okay, we're rolling onto our back. So this is where if you want your headrest up, you can absolutely have it up, okay? Whatever gives you better alignment through the spine. We're going to add on 1 blue spring. So you've got a blue and a yellow. Now, if you don't have your extra light and you've been working on a blue, I want you to take 1 red right now, 1 red. Okay, otherwise you're a yellow and a blue. Go ahead and lie down on your back. Whew. Shoulders against shoulder blocks. Okay, don't lay on the shoulder blocks like I did. Now, the yoga block is coming right between your inner thighs again. So just above the knee, you're going to reach back. My toes are on the platform to get set up. I'm going to grab my short loops. Now, if you're working on 1 red, short loops should still be fine, but if you'd rather your long loops, you can absolutely do that. We're going to get some tension on these straps. So we're going to draw the arms forward so that the fingertips are right at underarm height. Okay, now from here, broaden your collarbone, nice connection between from shoulder blade to shoulder blade on that carriage. Now, we've already activated the core. So I want you to think now about drawing both legs up, keeping your low back close to the carriage. Draw those knees up and over the hips. Okay, I'm going to point my toes. Shins are parallel to the floor. I have a nice hold on my yoga block, but I'm not squeezing it. Okay, from here, we're going to start with just the arms. On your inhale, you're going to bring those arms down to the carriage. Exhale, bring them back up. Nice and simple. Inhale, arms down. Exhale, arms up. Just at underarm height. Now, I'm going to talk about form before we continue to get more aggressive here. Okay, right now, your knees are directly over your hips, not over your belly button. That's where they want to be, because over the belly button, it doesn't require so much work to hold them up, right? But I want you to take that work, take that challenge today, and move your knees so they are directly over your hips. Okay, shins are parallel to the floor. Now your tailbone is pressing into the carriage, right? But your low back is not pressing the carriage. However, it's really close to the carriage. Okay, so I want you to think about just a little bit of breathing room under your low back. Okay, like I could slip a piece of paper under there. Okay, now that position with the low back is what I want you to hold the entire time we work. If you start to make a rainbow, all right, I want you to manage that because that's not good for the low back. We're shortening the low back at that point. All right, so I'm going to talk about that a lot. We're going to keep our ribs closed like a book. Okay, keep them closed because the minute the ribs start to flare is when we lose part of that core connection as well. Okay, now the next time your arms come down to the carriage, I want you to hold them right there. Hold them right there. Now, we're going to bend at the elbow. Keep your elbow and your tricep glued to the carriage. As we bend at the elbow, find a 90-degree bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Now, my palms are facing the platform. Okay, so we're just opening and closing the elbow. Nice control with the low back. I know it's a lot to hold the legs up at this point still. I want you to manage that connection. You've got just a slight amount of breathing room under that low back. It is not big at all. Keep the belly button pulled up and in. All right? If your knees are over your belly button, that means you're probably in a posterior tilt, which means the tailbone is not glued down. So I don't want you to be there. Okay, that form is really important. On your next one, you're going to hold your elbows bent. Okay, 90-degree bend. Now, holding that strong stability, we're going to open up the front of our hips. So I'm going to lower my bent legs on my inhale towards the springs. Nothing changes with my low back, nothing at all. And then I pull it right back up to start. Okay, inhale. Open the front of the hips, pull that belly button up and in. Do not let your low back lift, and then come back. Good. So if you're creating a rainbow with your low back, that means your legs are going too low for you today. Okay? I want you to manage that. That strength and control will increase over time as long as you work with good form. All right? If we're always compensating, it's not going to get stronger. All right? 4 more. Lower inhale. Exhale, pull it back. You should feel a shake on that inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, lower it down. I don't know what I said. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale, pull those knees back to start. Last 1. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, pull it back. Now, guess what? We're going to add the arms too. You're going to lower those legs as the elbows extend. Exhale, pull them both back to start. Good. Inhale, open up the elbow, open up the hips. Exhale, pull them back. You've got 4 more just like that. Open. And come back. Exhale. Last 3. Open, lowering the legs. We're going to come into full range of motion, full arm arcs in just a minute. Good. Last 2. Open the elbow, open the hips. Right where that seat crease is, where the leg meets the hip. That's where we're opening. Last 1. Open. Exhale, pull it back. Now right here, you're going to extend those arms straight up over the chest, just like how we started. Okay, you've still got nice tension, fingers at underarm height. We're going to go for a full arm arc. So we're going to ab curl. Head, neck, and shoulders lift. Arms go long, legs go long. Pause. And pull it all back to start. Whew. Exhale. Curl and hold your full arm arc. Exhale, pull it back. Manage that low back. The higher the legs, exhale. And lower. The higher the legs, the less aggressive, right? Last 3. Lengthen and hold. and pull it all the way back. Two more. Curl and lengthen and pull it back. On your next one, we've got to hold. Okay, we're gonna curl and hold and give me a pump of those arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it all the way back. We're gonna do that 3 more times, okay? Inhale, lengthen, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it all back. Good, 2 more. Curl and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it back. We've got just one more. Manage that low back. Curl and hold. Low back is down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring it all the way in and hang up your straps. And we're coming up for some upper body. So come on up. Turn to your right. With your yoga block in hand. Okay, now we're going to take off that blue spring now. So back to your extra light if you have it. If not, you're on a blue, okay? Extra light spring. You're going to kneel about mid-carriage. Yoga blocks coming right back for those inner thighs, okay? I'm going to reach to my right and grab my short loop. The short loop is coming to my left hand, so cross body. Now, that left arm is going to hang, crossing the midline. So the top of my left hand is at the top of my right thigh, okay? I'm going to square off my shoulders, square off my hips. Now, the job I have here is to stay tall in this high kneel position. So I want sternum over pubic bone the entire time. No leaning back, no twisting. My right arm is going to come out to the side. We're going to start with drawing the sword. So this left elbow is going to reach up and out towards the platform. And then my left thumb is going to come inside that loop to lift that arm up and out in a wide V. Okay? I'm going to fold at the elbow first and return that arm back to start. Okay? So we want a smooth move, right? Elbow comes up, our thumb rotates in, we open up that arm into a wide V. We fold at the elbow and take that arm all the way back to start. The whole time, I hold a squared off pelvis and a squared off shoulder girdle, okay? Bend at the elbow, slide that arm back down. Good, elbow rises, we open all the way up. I'm bracing with my core. I'm thinking about that nice strong core. Belly button pulled up and in, right? Pull the belly button up and in. That arm has to work less to get it up there, right? To get that strap up there. The core plays a really big role. Those appendages aren't meant to work on their own. Exhale, pull it up. Inhale all the way out. Bend at the elbow. Put it all the way back down. Last one. Elbow lifts up and out. All the way back. Good, and all the way to start. Now we're going to take that short loop up to chest center. Both palms are inside my short loop. Okay, we're going to bring them right to prayer at chest center. Long loop is always an option. The closer you are to your shoulder blocks, the less aggressive this will all be. Okay, so broaden the collarbone, roll those shoulders down your back. We're going to work on a really small range of motion right here. We're going to inhale as we twist waistline up towards the platform. Exhale back to center. Good. Inhale, upper body. So you're thinking rib basket. Rib basket rotates just a little, and then we come back to start. So what I want you to imagine is that I've got a vice grip on your pelvis, and it is not allowed to rotate at all. That left, I want you to think about reaching your left hip bone forward as you inhale and you spiral to the left. Okay, I want you to think about a barbershop pole. Okay, you grow taller on your twist. That's why we inhale. Exhale back to center. So this range of motion is small. It can be frustrating, but what I want you to really think about is keeping your palms at chest center when you twist. Inhale, exhale, center. 4 more. Inhale, twist. Exhale, center. Good. Big inhale. Exhale, center. You've got 2 more. Inhale, rotate. Don't let those hips move. The quieter they can be, the more range of motion you're going to be working on. Good. Last one. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Now, pass that long loop, everybody long loop to your right hand. Right elbow is going to come down by your waist. Right palm faces forward. You're in a low W. Okay, my left hand's going to come to my hip, and we're going to work on a side bend here. So still thinking about length and lift first. On your inhale, you're going to take that right arm up and overhead, and we're going to side bend towards the platform, lifting my right ribs out of my right hip, and then we're going to bring it all the way back to start. Okay, that inhale is important. Inhale, lifting up and over, up first, and then exhale back to start. You've got 4 more. Okay, I want you to still maintain length on that left side. So that's why the lifting up first is important, right? And exhale, pull it back. You've got 3 more. Good. Inhale, picking the ribs up out of the hips, and then we come back to start. Good. Last 2, you're looking straight forward. Inhale, up and over, no twisting. That bicep comes right over the ear, right in alignment with the ear. Good. Last one. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, bring it back to start, and go ahead and hang up that strap. You're coming onto this box now with your feet. Okay, so stay on that extra light spring. That's where you want to be. Okay, if you've got a blue, fine. Stay wherever you're at. The great thing about the box today is that it's going to give you nice support and balance, right? It's not moving like the carriage. So instead today we're standing on the box. Left foot is going to come right to that front edge of the box, okay, close to the frame. My right foot is going to come up against my right shoulder block. So I've got the outside of my right foot against that shoulder block. My foot is turned out slightly, okay, at a slight angle off the hip. Okay, yoga block's coming between the hands, right at the palm. Okay, so I want you to imprint into that yoga block on the shorter ends, and I want you to feel the chest activate. Okay, so broaden the collarbone. That left foot is nice and planted. On your exhale, we're going to slide into a lateral lunge, bending the left knee, reaching the yoga block up and overhead. Pause for just a second, check your left knee. Is it behind your toes? That's where it needs to be. I want you to reach that sitting bone straight back so it's in alignment with your heel. Okay, straight back. And then we're going to inhale as we come back up. Good. Exhale. Slide into that lateral lunge. You're imprinting into your yoga block to feel your chest and your upper body. Inhale, rise back up. So on that extra light spring, I don't want you to think about pushing the carriage out. There's nothing to push. It should just slide out as you come into that lateral lunge. Okay, 3 more. Exhale, reach that sitting bone straight back over the frame. Inhale, rise back up. Last 2. My right leg stays completely straight. Okay? And then we come all the way up. Think about those ribs staying in alignment with your hips. That's why we allow the torso to tilt. Reaching it back. Good. Inhale, rise up. Now your next one's going to be a hold. Okay, so we're going to slide into that lateral lunge and we're going to hold it. Now right here, we're going to take that yoga block down to tap the knee and back up and overhead. Good. Down to tap the knee and back up. You've got 4 more. Down and up. Exhale. Down. Inhale. Lift. Keep pulling that belly button in. Last 2. And lift. You've got 1 more. Down and up and rise all the way back up. 4 full range of motion. Exhale. Sit into that lunge. Reach that yoga block overhead. Good. Inhale. Rise back up. 3 more. And we've got 1 more hold. Reach it back. Good. And lift. Last 2. Reach that sitting bone straight back. Right, you could draw a line straight back from your heel to your glute. Good. Last 1. You're going to hold this one. Hold this one low. Okay, now right here, you're going to pick up that left heel. Just 1 inch. Left heel off the box. 1 inch. And down. Press your heel down. Lift and lower. Press. Lift and lower. You got 3 more. Lift and lower. It's just 1 inch. Lift and lower. Hold your next one lifted and give me a little pulse right from your left glute, right there where the glute and the hamstring meet. Good. 6, 5, 4. My carriage slides just a little bit. Last 2, 1. Heel down and come all the way up. Oh, and I feel fire, fire, fire. Okay, we're coming into Mermaid. So we're going to sit on the carriage with your yoga block today. So a little different. We're going to place the yoga block down on the carriage. Horizontal, right? So the wide way lined up with that yoga block, lined up with that headrest. Okay. Now I'm going to sit on the yoga block with my right sitting bone. Okay. So the center of my right glute goes onto that block. Now my right leg is going to hook in front. My left leg's going to hook in back. Okay. Or hook along the side. So right leg front, left leg back. Now the yoga block is providing less of a flexibility requirement today. So that's one bonus. However, it is providing a stability challenge and a balance challenge today. So this is your balance piece right here. Okay, so I want you to embrace it and feel the difference. If you've done this move, which I know probably you have, without the block, you'll feel a difference today. Okay, so place your hands inside the short loop, hands at chest center. You're still on an extra light spring. You can always go to your long loop. Okay, all right, so pick a loop, bring it right to chest center. Roll your shoulders down your back, broaden your collarbone. Now, my hands aren't going to do anything. I want you to think about the strap as stability, okay? Ground that front shin. You're going to be lifting your left leg and swinging it forward. So this is how it's going to go. We're going to lift from the glute med and the top of the hip, lift, and now we're going to sweep that left leg forward to come over the box. My knee is bent. I'm pointing my toe. What I'm basically doing is leveling my pelvis when I get to this point. So my right pelvis is elevated because of the block. I want to make sure my left hip is at the same height as my right hip. Okay? And then I'm going to sweep that leg back all the way back behind me, tap it down on the carriage. Okay, so by sitting on this yoga block, lift, sweep it forward, bring it over the box. Good. And bring it back. By sitting on this yoga block, we're asking less range of motion from my left hip. Okay, that femur inside the hip socket. Range of motion is very different for everyone here. Okay, so you just worked that left glute, right, and hamstring doing that lunge, that lateral lunge. We also worked the quad with that heel peel. Now we're mobilizing at the hip. Okay, sweep that leg back. Good, and then bringing it all the way in front of you. In front of that hip. Level out your hips once you get there. So you lower that sitting bone to be in line with your right sitting bone. Good. And bring it all the way back. Let's go 2 more. Sweep that leg forward. Level out your hips. Belly button's pulled up and in. And then we reach that leg all the way back to start. Good. Last one. Sweep that leg forward. Good. Now this one's going to go all the way back to start, and we're going to focus on just a lift. No more sweep. Keep your hands at chest center. You're going to lift the knee and shin and lower. Lift and lower. So your goal here is to not lean towards the headrest, right? You want to stay as lifted as possible. So you're going to feel the top of the hip and that glute med, right? That little side booty. Good. Lift and lower. 4 more. Lift and lower. I'm lifting only 1 inch off the carriage. Lift and lower. Good. It doesn't even need to be that high. I just want you to find a little bit of breathing room. Good. Okay, on your next lift, you're going to hold your lift. Hold it up there. Now flex your left foot. Flex it. And you're going to open up the front of your left hip. So you're going to press your left heel back behind you and bring it back to normal. Press it back and bring it back to normal. So you're opening up the front of that left hip, right where the leg meets the hip, right? Just like we did on that arm arc sequence, opening the hips. Good, you're here for 4, and bring it back. Don't set it down. 3, and bring it back. Last 2, and bring it back. Last 1, hold the push back. Hold it flexed for 4, for 3, for 2, and put it all the way down. Now you can hang up your strap. You can do that whole thing without the yoga block. Okay, however, it's providing a little bit of a stability challenge today. Okay, let's take that yoga block out. We're gonna turn around and face the platform. Okay, don't worry about your springs because you're not even gonna use them here. All right, you're gonna lie all the way down on your back. Okay, headrest can be up or down, it really doesn't matter much. Your yoga block is gonna be against your thighs, top of your thighs the wide way. Okay, horizontal. You're gonna bring your elbows, okay, now I'm not gluing my thighs together, although you could if you wanted to. I've got a little bit of separation between my knees. My elbows are gonna come to the top of the block. So that already puts me in an ab curl, right? Knees over hips, head, neck, and shoulders are lifted. I'm pressing my elbows into my block. My hands frame my ears, okay? Now I'm gonna press into my block, pressing really hard. Okay, now from here, if you already feel a shake, we're gonna take the right leg. I don't want you to let the yoga block move at all. You're gonna extend your right leg, point your toes, extend your right leg all the way out off the hip and bring it back to the block. Let's go left leg. Left leg extends, don't let that yoga block wiggle, and then bring it all the way back to the block, right leg. So your intention shifts, right leg back. Right elbow press as hard as we extend that left leg out, and then we bring it back. Left elbow presses hard, right leg extends, and bring it back. Good, left, good, and back. We got 2 more each side, right, and exhale back, left, inhale, exhale back, keep that head off the carriage. Right leg extends and hold it. Hold this one. Now my right leg is gonna lift and lower. Lift and lower, inviting that leg up with the core. Good, pull it up and lower. Think of that right psoas, runs along the spine like a suspender. Pull that up towards the shoulder to lift the leg. Good, last 2. Lift and lower, press into that block with your left elbow. Lift and lower. Now pull that leg back to the block. Left leg extends, hold it. And now lift the leg and lower. Whoo! Lift, exhale, inhale, lower. 4 more. Lift and lower. 3 and lower. Last 2. Lift, press into that block with that right elbow. Lower, last 1, and lower. Pull that left knee back to the block. Press into your block with both elbows for 4, for 3, for 2, and release it all the way down. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, turn around. Turn to your left. We're doing that mermaid on the other side. Okay, so set your yoga block down about mid-carriage. Okay, the wide way is lined up between the shoulder blocks. All right, now I'm gonna sit on the yoga block with my left sitting bone. Okay, left sitting bone. Now, right leg is in back, left leg is in front. Ground that left shin. Okay, make sure that you've got that space for the left shin on the carriage. Okay, and you want that left sitting bone towards the back of the block. That way you just have a nice balance on the block. All right, grab your short loop. Long loop is always an option. We're still on that extra light spring. You're gonna bring your palms right to chest center, roll your shoulders down your back. Okay, here we go. We're gonna think about staying as upright as possible. Okay, now if you need to lean a little, that's okay, but I want you to try to get more upright as you work, okay? Palms stay right here for stability. We're gonna pick up that right knee and ankle, and we're gonna sweep that leg around to the front of the hip. Keep the knee soft and bent, okay? Toe is pointed. Level out your hips, okay? Now sweep that leg all the way back and place it down on the carriage. Good. Lift the knee and the ankle. Sweep around to the front. Level out your hips, okay? And then sweep it around and back. Should have a little tremble going on already because this hip was busy working it as a stabilizer before. Good. And sweep it around and back. Whew. Okay, lifting. So this yoga block provides a really big balance challenge, okay? But less flexibility, okay? 4 more. Sweep around, level out your hips. Good, that's the job of the core to level out that pelvis. Last 3. Sweep around and forward. Shoulders are away from your ears. Good. Upper body is relaxed. It's your stabilizer. Good. Last two. Sweep it around and forward. Level out your pelvis. Pick it up on that right side. Bring it around and back. Good. Last one. Sweep it forward. Level it. Bring it around and back. Now hold it back there. Okay, now we're going to lift. Just do those lifts. Toe is still pointed. Ankle and knee lift and lower. Lift and lower. And a lot of times I hear a little owie. It is a little owie, right? It's a very small range of motion. We're working on that range of motion, making it a little bigger. Good. Really big work on the hips right here. Good. Lift and lower. You've got 4. Lift. Try to stay upright and lower. Maybe make the lift less big so you can stay more upright. Last 2. Last 1. Okay, now we're going to lift and hold. So lift and hold this one. Okay, now you're going to flex the foot and we're going to press that heel back, opening up the front of the right hip more and forward. Good. Back and forward. Good. So working on opening up the front of that right hip. Good. Keeping the pelvis quiet. Good. Open and back. Good. 4 more. Open, pressing with that heel and back. Last 3. Good. It's going to come right around to that glute med, the top of the back hip. Glute med, top of the back hip, right here. Good. Nice little grouping of small stabilizers. Good. Last one, you're going to press it back and hold it back for 4, for 3, for 2, and place it all the way down. Hang up your strap. Okay, we didn't move the box yet, so we do need to move it now. So a little bit of a pause. Move that box to the other side of your carriage. Other side. Okay, and remember, you're lining up the top of the box with the top of the headrest. Okay, now once you get it there, we're coming right into that lateral lunge. Okay, so line it up, grab your yoga block, come back on the box, and let's just make sure I didn't forget anything. We're looking good. Guys, we're looking good. Okay, step on your box. Now, your right foot is going to stay on the box towards that front edge, close to the frame. Left foot's coming to your shoulder block, okay? Your toes can be slightly turned out off that hip, okay? You want the outside of the foot against the block. Now, your yoga block is between your palms. I want you to imprint into the block, okay? Block is going to come long and low in front of your thighs. On your exhale, you're going to slide into that lateral lunge. That block is going to come up and overhead. You're reaching your right sitting bone straight back over the frame, okay? Inhale, rise back up. Now I'm a little close to my mirror, so my arms are not perfectly straight. Try to make yours a little straighter than mine. You're going to bring those arms up and overhead, slide into that lateral lunge, reach that sitting bone back. Good, and then coming all the way back up on your inhale. 4 more just like that. Should not be a press of the carriage or a push of the carriage. What I want you to focus on more is your form through that right leg, right? As you reach into this lunge, have we checked our right knee? Is it behind our toes? Is the kneecap tracking with big toe, second toe? Good, make those track. Good, last 2. Lower. Good. Inhale, rise back up. Now again, I'm really close to my mirror, so ignore my upper body. Your arms should be doing the same thing we did on the other side. Good. Lower. And lift it back up. Now on your next one, you're going to hold. Okay, so we're going to reach back with that right sitting bone. Hold this lateral lunge right here. Now you're going to lower the yoga block to tap your knee and then pick it back up overhead. Okay, arms stay straight. Mine are bending just because I'm too close to my mirror. Good, and lift. Good, 4 more. Lower and tap the knee. Inhale, lift. Last 3, lower and tap. Inhale, lift. Last 2, lower and tap. Inhale, lift. Keep that belly button pulled up and in. Last 1, tap and lift. Now right here, you're coming all the way up. We got 4 full range of motion. So we're going to slide into that lateral lunge. Bring those arms up and over the head. Biceps are framing my ears. Inhale, rise back up. Last 3. Exhale, reach it back. Inhale, rise up. Last 2. We got another hold coming up, okay? Last 2. Reach it back. Press into that block with the heels of your hand. I want you to feel your shoulders and your chest. Good. On your next one, you're going to hold this one low. Hold it low. Okay, now from here, you're going to pick up that right heel, but just 1 inch. 1 inch up. Press it back into the box. Lift and press. Good. For 4, and press into your block as well. 3, and press. Last 2, and press. Last 1, and press. And come all the way back up. Woo! I forgot our hold. Oh my goodness. Come back into your lateral lunge. Good thing I remembered it. Last thing. Pick up that heel 1 time and hold it up. Hold it up there. Now give me a pulse. Right from your right glute. So right where the right sitting bone and the hamstring meet. The carriage will slide just a little. 6, 5, 4, 3. Ribs aligned with pelvis. 2. Last 1. Set your heel down. And now rise all the way up. There we go. We did it. Okay. We're coming into that upper body. So you're going to kneel on your carriage facing your box. Okay. Mid carriage is good for me. You're going to take that block right between your inner thighs. So think about what you did on the other side. Okay, we're still on the extra light. I'm going to reach over and grab my short loop and pass it to my right hand. Okay, now we're going to start with drawing the sword. So the right arm is across the body. Right hand at the top of my left thigh. Okay, now left hand is coming out into a T. Square off your shoulders, square off your hips, sternum over pubic bone. Okay, here we go. We're going to draw that right elbow up and out. Thumb folds inside the short loop to unfold that strap all the way up. Exhale, bend the elbow. Take it all the way back down to the hip. Good. Exhale, draw the elbow up. Unfold all the way out. Exhale, bend. Put that sword back in its sheath. Okay, so we have a really light hold on the block. This block is providing us a connection for the inner thighs and the pelvic floor. Okay, so a lot of times we lose that with nothing to hold at the inner thighs. I want you to think of a slight intention, 3 more, on that block. Okay, so you feel your inner thighs and pelvic floor work. Okay, it's also going to help keep your hips stable. Last 2, elbow up and out, unfold. Good. Remember, long loop is always an option. The closer you are to your shoulder blocks, the less aggressive it's going to be. Good. Elbow slides up and out. Unfold. Good. Bend at the elbow. Slide it all the way back. Now we're going to bring that short loop right to chest center. Palms, both palms, to prayer inside the short loop. Thumbs on the outside. Okay. Press your palms together. Open up the chest. Shoulders are down your back. Light hold on the block on your inhale. You're going to rotate pelvis, or not pelvis, waistline up, not the pelvis. Don't let the pelvis rotate. Exhale back to center. So you want to think about keeping your palms glued to chest center. Don't let them push forward. Okay, a lot of times what I see is this on a rotation, and we push through the upper body. I don't want you to move the upper body at all. Your upper body is just a stabilizer. Exhale, bring it back. It's allowing you to pull resistance, right? But I want you to think about a vice grip on the pelvis. We're rotating waistline up. Exhale, center. Good. Inhale. Exhale, center. Nice control here. Small range of motion can be frustrating. I don't want it to let it frustrate you. What I want you to think about, the more we find control in this movement, the more we are increasing our range of motion. All right, 4 more. Inhale. Think of that barbershop pole. You grow taller inside, and that translates on the outside. Last 3. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale, center. Keep pressing that right hip forward. Last 1. Exhale, center. Now we're going to pass that long loop to the left hand. Right hand on the hip. Left elbow in a deep W, palm forward. Okay, we're going to work on that side bend. Intention lightly into your block. Think about pulling your belly button up and in. On your inhale, you're going to take that left arm up and out of the waistline, lifting the ribs out of the hips. Exhale, bring it back to start. Good. Inhale, lifting up and out, lots of length. Exhale, bring it back. You've got 4 more. Inhale, lifting up and over. Exhale, bring it back. Good. Last 3. Inhale, pick it up first, lift it first. Maintain length on that right waistline. That's so important. We want to think about growing taller. Inhale, last 2. Exhale, bring it back. You've got 1 more right here. Inhale, lifting it up and over. Last one, best one. Exhale, bring it back. And hang up that strap. Okay, guys, you're on your last and final sequence right here. Okay, take that yoga block still to the inner thigh. But this is where you want your squishy pad. So go ahead and grab that squishy pad. Bring it on top of your platform if you would like it. Yoga block to the inner thigh. Okay, I know it's a little higher than traditionally if we had the ball, right? But again, just for inner thigh pelvic floor connection into the low belly. Hands are coming down onto your platform. You are still on your extra light spring. Knees are going to come, kneecaps are going to come just off the front edge, okay? So you're in a narrow 4-point kneel, meaning your knees are probably a little bit more under the belly button than they are under the hips, so that's okay. All right, because we're going to open this up. Keep your shoulders over the platform as you open up the front of your hips, okay? Now, we've talked about that several times today. So we're in a modified plank. All right, now from here, keeping your lower body exactly how it is right now, you're going to draw that belly button up and in. I want you to have a strong core right now as you inhale and press away from your platform. You're extending your kneeling plank. Belly button's pulled up and in so you don't feel it in the low back. Exhale, bring it back. All right, so if we're not engaging the core, your low back is going to take over to hold it up. We don't want that. Pull the belly button up and in. Inhale, slide away. Feel the shoulder blades move down the back body, lengthening out of the right and left waistline. Exhale, pull it back. Good, you got 2 more just like that. Inhale, open it up, lengthen. Exhale, pull it back. 1 more. Inhale, we're going to add on, lengthen away. Now, on this one, when you come back, I want you to give me a mini push-up. No hips. The hips don't move. Bend at the elbows halfway. Inhale, press up and slide away from the platform, engaging the core the whole time. Exhale, pull it back. Mini push-up, elbows bend wide. Press it up on your inhale. Slide out on your next inhale. Good, hold it. Exhale, pull it back. 2 more. Mini push-up. Bring it up. Slide away. Good. Last one. Mini push-up. We're going to come to our feet. If you're up for it, slide away. This is your last and final challenge. Good. Come all the way back in over that platform now. We're going to pop up to our toes. So turn those toes under, still hold on to that yoga block, and find your full plank. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to slide away. Slide away from the platform. You're not going to be able to go as far, most likely. Okay, keep the core engaged. Now come back and give me a full push-up if you can. All the way down, all the way up. Okay, if you got to go for the mini, go for the mini. Okay, here we go. Slide away from the platform. Inhale. Exhale, pull it back. Full push-up. And press. You've got 2 more. Slide away. Exhale, pull it back. Good. Give me a full push. Last one. Slide away. Bring it back. Full push. Hold your plank. Hold it for me. Relax your fingers. Good. Space between the shoulder blades for 6, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and draw your knees all the way in, guys. Woo, you did it. Put the yoga block down on the floor. Let's do a quick little stretch. Put your hands back on that platform nice and wide. Knees are going to come as wide as the carriage. You're going to press away from the platform into child's pose. Sit back into your hips. We'll make this really quick. Good, hang on. Now, after this short little stretch, I am going to give you a quick little tutorial on that headrest if you would like to stay and listen to that. Otherwise, you're free to go. Good, come all the way back in. I want you to crawl back so now your hands are on the carriage. You can lace those toes right between your shoulder blocks, okay? You're in a 4-point kneel. We're going to take that right arm and palm up. We're going to lace it through that window on the left, so right between the left forearm and the left knee, and you're going to try to lay that right shoulder down towards the carriage, reaching your sitting bones up and back. So you're getting a bit of thoracic rotation, opening up the back body and the shoulder. Good, hold it there for 4, feeling a stretch on that right waistline for 3, for 2. Good, coming all the way back up through center, right hand on the carriage, left hand palm up, lacing it through that window on the right. Good, try to lay that left shoulder down. Oh, it feels good. Thoracic rotation. Good, opening up that back body. 4, 3, 2. Good, right here, coming right back through center. Let's do a little cat-cow. On your exhale, you're going to nod the chin around the spine, draw the belly button up towards the ceiling, tailbone tucks under. Inhale, release the tailbone. Gently look up with the chin. Good, exhale, nod the chin around the spine, pulling it up. Inhale, release that. Let's go for one more of those. One more, let it feel good. Exhale, nod the chin around the spine. Inhale, release that, looking the other way, let the tailbone wag up. Good, coming right back to your flat back. You're going to come up to a high kneel. Last and final thing, bring those arms up and overhead. I want you to grab onto your right wrist with your left hand, and we're going to traction that right arm up and over to the left, thinking about taking that arm right out of the waistline and the hip for 4, 3, 2, coming all the way back through center, right hand on left wrist, taking that arm up and out of the waistline, up and over to the right. 4, 3, 2, coming all the way back through center. Bring your hands to prayer. Bring them down to chest center. Give yourself a nice round of applause. That was very well done today, guys. 45 minutes, nice and solid. Okay, well done. Modifications I went through as we did the video, especially if you don't have the extra light spring, but if you have extra questions for me, please don't be afraid to leave them below the video and I will get back to you. I respond to everybody's comments. It may take some time, but I always get back to you, so don't be afraid to reach out. I love hearing from you. All right, now, quick little tutorial on the headrest. Okay, now, a lot of times I'll start workouts and I'll say headrest is down. Keep it down. Headrest can be up or down. Headrest is up today. Okay, now I pretty much never cue the headrest up all the time. Okay, for the most part, depends, but for the most part, I have it optional. Okay, now you don't want your headrest up if you're lifting your hips or if you're bridging. Okay, so because that's just not really good on the cervical spine. So you want to keep that headrest down if you're lifting those hips. So in other words, bridging, if you're doing a short spine stretch or long spine stretch, you want your headrest down. Okay, now, the headrest up is typically used to give you better alignment through the spine and to help keep rib closure. So I'm going to lay down and kind of give you a little, I'll show you a little bit of that, okay? Now, if you lie down on your carriage, okay, shoulders against the shoulder blocks, and you know, it's really great if either someone can take a picture of you or if you have a mirror, okay, because what you want to look for is what is the head doing when you're lying down? Do you have a big arch in the back of your neck? Okay, so in other words, I'm right here, I'm tipping my chin up. But if you're lying normal where you've got your head squared off, you're not doing anything unnatural, you're just laying down, and you've got this really big arc to the back of your neck, by lifting that headrest up, okay, I'm gonna see if I can do it, it will give you better alignment. Now, by giving you better alignment there, okay, meaning there's a nice long line now from the crown of the head to the tailbone with that spine, you're gonna be able to maintain more rib closure, which means your low back, right, is gonna be closer to the carriage. Okay, so that's exactly what I ask for every time we're supine, right? Or every time we're on our back. So in those arm arcs, when we were doing the dead bug curls, right? I kept telling you to manage your low back. If the headrest is down and you have a massive arc in your cervical spine and you're opening your ribs, you're not gonna be able to do that. That's not gonna help. So I want you to look for that and experiment, right? For me, the headrest up really does give me great alignment. And I don't do it enough myself, but it gives me better alignment. I'm able to maintain my rib closure nicely, okay? And it creates a really nice neutral pelvic position for me. Now, another good reason to have the headrest up, if you suffer from diastasis recti, okay? If you've had children and it's taken a toll, right? So you have a separation of the abdominal wall. This is also going to help relieve pressure on the abdominal wall. So I tell people, if you're suffering from diastasis and you're recovering from that, lift that headrest up and just work that way when it's possible, because as you can start to gain strength back in that abdominal wall, you'll be able to get rid of the headrest. So I am a perfect example of that. I had a 3-finger gap after my first child. Did not know what it was, didn't understand, right? But through Pilates learned how to heal it, okay? And now that it's almost gone, not completely, never completely goes away, but pretty close. So I know now that with my headrest down, right, I know what I need to do to make sure I hold a neutral pelvis. I don't shorten the low back. I don't mash the low back into the carriage. I keep the core engaged, right, ribs closed. So anyway, that's just something to look out for. I should show you that with my husband on the carriage, because he has a really big arc when he lies down. And so by putting the headrest up, it just gives him a nice straight line from crown of the head out to the tailbone. So look for that the next time you're on the carriage. Have somebody snap a picture of you if you don't have mirrors. That way you can take a quick peek. All right, you guys, and that's just a little overview of why I say what I say with the headrest, because I know sometimes I talk so much, right? We probably only hear half of what I say. So just a little overview on that. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time. Remember, if you have requests for me or things you want to do on the reformer or anything, you just let me know, okay? And I will absolutely include that. I get requests all the time, so I try to knock them out one by one. I still have a core challenge up for you guys on my on-demand platform. I have a 14-day, 2-week core challenge. Check it out. Okay, you can find that through my website at JessPFit.com. All right, you guys, I will see you so soon.